Oops.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Is it just me?
No, I see a couple of people on yet. They just haven't turned their cameras on.
Oh.
Nice to see you.
Oh, good to see you. I'm so sorry about today. I'm so bummed.
Oh, it's all good. I get it. That pink eye is rough. Oh, it's easy. Well, it's not rough. It's just annoying because you're like stuck home.
Well, it's annoying, and I'm just praying that nobody else gets it. And of course, I always keep those drops on hand.
Yeah.
And I was working yesterday. My mom had Isla, and she came home and she's like, I was like, ooh, her eye. And I was like, can you grab the drops from wherever? And they were empty. So then I had to make an appointment and have my mom take her to the pediatrician. She got lost trying to find the pediatrician. Then she checks in and my insurance wasn't working. Isla's like insurance was canceled at the end of last year. I'm like,
I
what a nightmare yesterday was. I felt so bad for my mom.
I hate anything insurance problems. I'm
Oh my gosh. And I text Joe, I was like, can you please call like the insurance and figure this out? And she's active according to the plan, but they couldn't get it. So we had to do the cash pay price, which was $200. And then her drops, and she has an ear infection too, drops and meds were like 150.
ugh.
Literally half of what I made yesterday at work. So I'm like, that's cool.
Oh yeah, that saying "kids are expensive" is so
Hey,
true.
do you need any of these Cat and Jack shorts in a 5T?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I think thanks for offering though. Let me just my alarm. That's my alarm to make sure I'm recording. I am. Okay. Okay. It's 9:04. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I know I think one person can't make it for a meeting, and then I know Carrie is in Hawaii. So she might watch this recording. I want to move into some glute stuff because it all last week we did a lot with like upper body and ribs and how that ties into the pelvis, and I want to move into some glute and hip stuff because that is important too. Where's my notes at? So a lot of us, let's go ahead and stand. A lot of us, when we do squats, or sorry, I'm wearing black pants. I try to always wear color pants, but if it's a period week, you get black. But I feel like black, you can't like see the movements as well. So, anyways, bear with me. I want us to take a squat, and I want to check your squat up because here's what I see as a trainer an awful lot is I get a squat like this where people are tight back in here and they're tucked, and a tight tucked pelvis. A lot of us are just tight in our posterior chain, and then we live in this external rotation where our toes are out. So I want to just check in and see what your hinge and your squat looks like. Okay, got Sarah's. I see Julie. Julie, yours looks good.
It's all that work in the bum area.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay, I am so impressed. All of you girls look good. I think all of that like myofascial release work and stuff is like opening stuff up. So, a lot of times when people do it or add squat to their weight or add weight to their squat and they get down low, you might see like their pelvis starts to like tuck like this, right? So we think of sometimes I came from like the bodybuilder world years ago. I think of like, okay, if I want to activate my glutes, I need to do mini band exercises, right? You put the bands right here and you abduct and you abduct. And the mini band exercises are great, don't get me wrong, but they don't get your glute max. Okay, they get right here, your glute minimus. And what that muscle is responsible for is externally rotating your hip. And for most of us, we live in an external position all the time. You've heard me talk, we live like this, and that we need to do more internal rotation to activate your glute max. So if we don't have enough internal rotation, you're not going to feel your glutes when you do lunges or squats, or even when we're just doing daily life, we're hinging to pick something up that our kids dropped or do laundry. We live like this. Have you guys seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about? You paid attention to it? Okay. All of that means we're tight back here. You see someone hinge. So today, I want to create more access for us to activate your glute max and feel your glute max more in movements. One more thing I was going to say about the exercise of like, you see clamshells a lot, that exercise, you guys know what that is? So there's a lot, I feel like I see a lot of clamshells in the physical therapy world, and clamshell is a great exercise with the band, it really is, but it's also, I don't do them too often, I don't prescribe them too often, because again, you're externally rotating at the hip. I like exercises that force you to internally rotate, because it makes more space for your posterior wall, for your pelvic floor, and when you have more internal rotation, you have more access to your glute max. It would be like, if I've done this analogy with some of you before, if you stand all the way up, you guys see me okay? If you stand and your feet are underneath your hips, you ever notice, maybe this happens to you, like your knees cave in, bow in, or you see it on other people, or you get this locked. If you're a glute squeezer, you have a tight pelvic floor, tight posterior
What
pelvic
does
floor.
it mean if you lock your knees a lot?
If you lock your knees a lot, you're more typically anterior, but you can also be a glute squeezer if you lock. But usually if you see someone like with their knees kind of bowing inward, they are more externally rotated. So external rotation happens at your pelvis. So if you imagine that you are externally rotating your hips without actually moving your feet, you're going to feel more engagement of your glutes. When your glutes are locked, they're not engaging. And so the phrase maybe you've heard in like group fitness or from a trainer of like, squeeze your glutes, like at the top, like that's actually not going to give you better activation of your glutes. So, okay, back to this stance. So if you're standing, put an imaginary pencil from your toes to your heels. Now imagine you're trying to grip that pencil and pick it up with your pinky toe and your big toe. What's happening here is you're creating external rotation at your hips. So you're engaging more of your glute max, and you're allowing for more space in your pelvis. Can you feel that lift right there? And check in with what happened with your knees, where you're just kind of like hanging out. You see how my knees kind of like move inward? When you have more external rotation, things are able to be stacked a little bit more. So if you've ever heard the phrase kinetic alignment, this is your kinetic alignment. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. If I were to draw a line from my ankles to my knees, to my hips, to my ribs, to my shoulders, it's like a connect the dots, boom, boom, boom. But when something is off up here, that's not a straight line anymore. Do you see how my knees just bowed in a little bit? And now I'm missing that dot. Or if someone is an anterior pelvic dumper from this view, their ribs are flared, you're not connecting, the dots are off on that line. From the side view, it would look like this: shoulders, ribs, pelvis, knees, feet. So anatomically, this is where our body wants to be. Real life, like our body needs to ebb and flow through different space and different planes of motion, but we need to be able to set that thermostat that this is home base. So, grab my notes. Hip hinges. I want to give you some other ones. I think we have one in our workshop already that we've done with a block. So hip hinges you can do in different positions in different spaces. This one you might see where you're lifting one hip up, which women do a lot because we're baby carriers, and you use your QL, your quadratus lumborum mostly, and of course your obliques to hike. Yeah, this one tends to be a little overdone, and we tend to kind of live sometimes on one side more than the other. And then this one I put in our workshop, which is a great one. This would be one to like keep as a staple. But what we're doing here is we're creating more space in the posterior wall of your pelvic floor, which if you're annoyed at me saying this, just let it be cemented into your brain. You have to create more space back here in order for you to activate your glutes. It would be like you have this huge glute max. It's like the most powerful muscle in your whole body. And if you're only able to use 20% of it, just imagine the capacity and support you could have for your back, your core, and your pelvic floor if you could even have access to 75% of it. But most of us don't get to use even a quarter of it. If you're making space, hip lift, and you want to make sure that you're not leaning over to the side. So this one works your adductor, your glute med, and it creates space for your glute max and your internal rotators. Those internal rotators of the pelvis, that's what pulls things together and makes things tight. So I'm gonna save that one for you guys. I'll put it in the workshop again, but you've all done that one, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I have a hard time keeping my like this straight when I'm doing it and stacking my hips. Like I dump a lot when I do that one.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because this was in my notes about this one too. Is if you feel that you dump, if you can come down onto your forearms, this will help you lock your ribs into place a little bit more. So there's less movement for your ribs.
Okay.
Okay, the other one I'm going to add in here would be to be able to do some airplanes. So you're creating mobility and then pulling that hip all the way around. Like you're trying to stack the hips, inhale, inhale, open without leaning this hip to the side. And then pull it close. Imagine there's a headlight on this hip and it's pulling down, 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 down. For most of us, it's going to feel like you're folding inward, but you're not. You're trying to get both hips even with the other. Inhale, open. I'll show you the other view. Close, 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 close. So here's this view. Inhale, open, open, open. See how my hips are pretty stacked. Like I'm not leaning to the side to get that hip up high. I'm using the glute muscles to help support that. And then rotate, pulling that left hip down, 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 down. Try and create more internal rotation to fill this stretch right here.
Wow.
You guys gonna try that?
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to check on the baby. What are we doing?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do
Sorry.
some airplanes. So a kneeling airplane. So you're gonna be on one knee and you're gonna inhale, stack the hips, rotate, and then exhale, pull the opposite hip down as much as you can without leaning to one side.
So you're not, you have the legs straight the whole time?
Yes, my leg is straight the whole time.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. Okay. Thank you so much.
You got it. Okay, I'm checking out Julie right now. Okay, and trying not to arch the back to create the movement.
Ooh.
Yes, good. Allow the movement to happen. Good, Sarah. Open, open, open. And then exhale, use your abs to pull the hip down. More, 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 more. Sarah, turn, turn, turn. Right there. Now you're level. And now you're not.
Really? That's
Yes.
level? That's level?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it feels like I'm turning the opposite way.
I know, because you're so tight.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Inhale, open. Good. And Julie, I'm on you again. Pull down, rotate, rotate. More, Julie. Good. Stack, and close. All right, shake that out. So could you, yeah,
Oh.
it's really common to feel like like, oh, I've gone too far, so when you do this one again, like record yourselves and then watch it, and you'll see what it feels like. But because we just don't live in that space, it feels like off kill, right?
That feels fantastic. I love that one.
Yeah.
Good.
I should be feeling it like on this side though, right? Cause that's supporting.
Yeah, you will be, it's a strengthening exercise and a lengthening exercise for the leg that's on the floor.
Okay, got it.
Yes. And then I'm gonna just show you a progression to that standing, because while we're there. So if you can hold something. Here, I'm gonna,
It wasn't too bad. Did you cry? You want me to put something else on?
exhale, close. So when you're standing, you can get a little bit more length in your hamstring, and oftentimes a little more length in your glutes. I'm gonna show you from the side. Inhale, open, back. Exhale, close, 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 close. You're gonna feel a lot more length right here, which is what you want. Open, 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 open. Close, 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 close. A dresser, you can use like the back of a bed, a chair. Good, Julie. Okay, and as you're pulling the hips square to the floor, can you feel more length in your glutes?
I don't know if you can even see what I just did.
I think so.
Yes. I can feel it. I just don't know. Is the top of my Peloton too high to be holding on to?
I think you'd be more secure with it a little lower. Yeah, like if you can grab the wheel.
I'll grab the, I'll do the side of the treadmill then. Actually, I might.
That's too wobbly for me.
So like this exercise is great. Like if you're someone who like leaks when you sneeze, it's because you're tight back here. This is gonna lengthen that space. And when we lengthen that space, we can strengthen that space. And I'm gonna show us some strengthening exercises for glutes too later today. But I wanna we gotta open to allow the space.
Having like SI pain on one side, will this like help with that too?
Yes, 100%. Okay, so the question was, if you're experiencing SI pain, will that help with that? Yes, 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 definitely. Let me watch you. I didn't even know you were here. You were hiding. Open and pull it down, close, close, close. Yes, okay. And now here's the other thing to think about that with this exercise, guys, is making sure that you're not like right over your hip. Your hip is not right over your toe. You want it to be back. So I'm gonna show you from this leg. So here, my hip is right over my toe in a straight line. We want to be in a hinge, meaning the hip is behind the heel. Do you see the difference there? Here. Here. So let me draw your attention back to me for a moment. So in a kind of like that squat I showed you at the beginning, where a lot of people that come to me, like they'll do a squat like this. They're not hinging at the hip. And we want to create more space for our glutes, have access to our glutes. You guys need to be really good at hinging at the hips, whether that's with both legs or a single leg. So hinging is just pushing, lengthening the glutes, leading with the glutes rather than the back. Sometimes people will, or the knees, like in the squat, they'll dip with their knees, or if they're doing a squat, they'll like go back like this. We've got to push the pelvis back while keeping the ribs stacked with the pelvis. This is the hinge. So when you're doing this airplane exercise, your body is in a hinged position. So I want to just check in on your hinges right here. Can everybody just stay, everybody get here. Good, Sarah. Weights in your toes. You should feel like you can wiggle your heels, or sorry, wiggle your toes, weights in your heels. Check you out, Julie. Good balance. Okay, good, Sarah. Okay, good. So everyone, I can't see Lindsay. Oh, there.
Right.
Hi. Let me see yours, Linz.
I'm late. I'm late. My baby's trying to nap now.
Oh, anytime's a good time. I'm glad you're here.
Okay, so just the hips, right?
Yep.
This is right.
Wait, go back. Lindsay, can you say something again?
Sit back like this.
Okay, and just stay there for a second. I'm watching you. Just sit. Okay, now can you pull your shirt up? Hold down in that squat and just, yeah, I want us to see where your ribs are. Okay, love it. Good. All right. So when we do the stagger stance, pull one foot behind so your knees are in alignment, and try to reach your right hand or your opposite hand of the opposite foot in front. Reach. Great. Okay, it says, I'm having a brain fart right now. It says Corey, but you're not Corey. Leah. Move your knees so that they are in alignment together. Rather than a lunge. So knees are in alignment, one foot is behind, and you're doing like a kickstand. And I want you to hinge backwards at the hip. Like imagine you're trying to push your booty back to the wall behind you. Take your opposite hand and reach it out in front of the opposite foot. Just stay there for a minute, guys, so we all catch up. I'll show you from the behind. And then, so all the weight is on the front leg. The back leg is just a kickstand. So we're just trying to create length right here. Do you guys feel length right here? Yeah, okay. And then exhale, drive up. Keeping those hips square. Don't thrust, don't over squeeze. If you take away that like the extra squeeze is not gonna activate your glutes. Think externally rotate, just like when we're in that standing position and like your knees are caving in. And then again, inhale, reach, opposite hand, opposite leg. Exhale, rise. I'm gonna watch a couple of you. Good, much better, Leah. Okay, can you guys, yes, I love Sarah, your hand is on your butt. That's good tactile feedback for you're feeling it in the place that you need to. Everyone feels that?
Yes.
Okay. Leah, say something. I want your screen to get big so I can see you a little better, please. I don't know how to make it big. Hey, Leah. Can you say something so your screen blows up big for me? Oh, sorry, girl. I'm on.
Is that okay?
Yeah, okay. So watch Leah for a second. Leah, go ahead and do that again. Move your right hand for me so I can see your back. Okay. Lift your tailbone up a little higher. Nope, that was your back. Lift your tailbone, like lift your, there. Okay, do you guys see what just happened? You see how she was like just slightly tucked at the tailbone, and then just by lifting, she created more space. I want you all to be experts about picking this up. Thank you, Leah. Could you feel the difference? Did you feel more length right here when you untucked your pelvis?
Yeah, it was like night and day. It was.
Yeah. And it wasn't much. Like, I'm picking on you, but it wasn't much. But in this world of like tight muscles, a little bit makes a huge difference, right? Okay. So I'm gonna put this in here. I want you guys, this is one I want you to video yourselves for like 10 or 15 seconds and just watch, because thank you for letting us utilize that as an example. But just the slightest little hinge, do you see how I'm just kind of tucked right here, means you're not missing the exercise, but you're not getting as much from it as you could. So you shouldn't be bleeding, this shouldn't feel like it's pulling from your back. You shouldn't feel fatigue in your back. This should feel like it's in your glutes. Reach, reach, reach. Okay, adjust. Better. And rise on that right glute. Should feel like you can wiggle your toes as you rise up. Push your booty way back to the wall behind you. Yes, and then exhale, drive off of that front right heel. Back leg is there for a kickstand. Leah, how'd that feel?
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, did anyone else notice or feel anything like that for yourselves?
I did. Cara, how important is hand position? Like, should your hand be right next to your foot when you're coming down? Or
Yeah.
do you want it more like a few inches above?
Wherever you have the greatest length. So the question was, where should hand position? Should it touch the floor? It's less about how deep you can go and more about how far back you can
Okay.
push. Because at some point, your low back is going to do the lifting for you.
Right.
If you're too low, like if my shoulders are below my hips, my low back is doing the work right here. So it's less about how low you can go. Mind and muscle work together. Get mentally present. And it's more about how far back your hips are. Because the farther back your hips are, the greater the length, the greater the stretch. Yes, Sarah.
It's so much harder on my left side than my right side. Which should not come as a surprise since my left knee is zero cartilage.
Yeah, probably a little tight all over the place because it's supporting for your knee.
Yeah.
Feel
Okay.
it mostly in the back of my thigh. I
Oh,
feel
you're
like.
feeling it in your hamstring?
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably really tight in your hamstring. Okay. So here's what I want us to do. So this is good. This is like the cool thing about the group is like everyone has different needs and we learn collectively because we'll all run into this. So here's what I want you to do is we gotta loosen your hamstrings a little more. And I like to do it a little more actively with like movement. So pulling back and back. And then here's another one for you that we can all do. I was gonna put this in like next week's workshop when we do more hamstrings, but I'm gonna throw some at you girls right now. So I like the idea of stretching muscles with active movements. You don't ever see me like hold the splits and tell you guys to like reach down and touch your toes, right? You get the most from your muscles when they're actively warm. So here's how I like to strengthen hamstrings. Lay down, you can pull your hamstrings towards your butt. Pull, and release. Pull, and release. You can increase the intensity by coming up and pull those hamstrings. And here, you guys, you're also getting your adductors. Like I totally feel my adductors firing right now. And if that's not enough, you can do one leg. Pull. You should feel this in your hamstring, your adductors, a little bit of your glutes if you're doing a single leg. Pull. And then come up and try to fold forward. And you should feel like you just got a little more length. Now you can repeat that several different times too. You can do, reach down, touch your toes, check your length, and then okay, I want to get more. Pull. Do a series of like 5, 6, 7, 8 reps. Reach down, touch your toes, and you should get more length every single time.
I have a question. You're pulling here when you're on your back? What do you mean by pull?
You guys, oh my gosh, you guys couldn't see me. I'm so sorry. I'm pulling my heel towards my butt. Let's just I'll try that. Sorry, I was rushing through that. Let's get on the same page. So I'm laying on my back and I'm pulling my heels towards my butt
Without actually moving your feet.
Without actually moving my feet. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull the heels towards the butt without moving them. Pull. Do you feel your hamstrings?
Okay, there it is. I was like, what are you doing?
Sorry, girls. Okay. I'm going to show you up.
Progress.
So when you're up a little bit more, there's distance on your hands, you're going to feel more of your butt. pull those heels towards your hands without moving them. Pull, 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 pull. And if you need or want more, or are ready to like move into unilateral training, pull, 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 pull. Ah. You feel that?
I can't even do that with my arms. Oh,
But you don't have to. I mean, you can do the same thing on the floor.
Okay.
Hips up, like you could pull with your hips up right here. I'll put this all in the workshop for you girls too. Hips up. You could do one, pull, 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 pull. Pull, 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 pull.
When you're on the floor and you're trying to pull your feet towards your thighs, you're keeping your back to the floor.
Mhm.
Okay.
but Kara, did you say you could do it both ways? Like either you can have your back flat on the floor or you can have your hips up?
Yeah, you could do either. They're different progressions, right? So this would be a progression one where your back's on the floor, you're pulling. This would be a progression two, hips are up, you're pulling, 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 pulling. And then progression three might be up here, pulling, 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 pulling.
Okay.
And then the most important part of that for you to lengthen the hamstrings, so you can get to your glutes, would be to then check our length. Then do that hip exercise again.
That's crazy that I can even put my hands flat on the floor after doing that.
Dun dun.
That's wild.
Kinesthetic magic. Kinesiology magic. Look at that, Julie. Look at that.
That's pretty crazy.
Who asked me about that? I don't even see her anymore on my screen. Oh, there you are. How's that feel?
It feels good. I have very short,
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I can always touch the floor. Feel like that's weird, but it is pulling a lot, yeah.
Like in a good way.
Yeah, and I feel the tests are good.
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that because everyone loved that stretch.
Yeah, that feels nice.
Okay.
And I told my husband, look, it's so hard now for me to touch the floor because he cannot even closely. I mean, he's a tall guy, and he is always like, how can you do that? And like, I have short legs. It's easy if you don't have to reach so far.
Yeah, it is true. Like there's
I feel that I'm stiffer there than I usually am.
yeah,
So-
it could be the way it could be just the way you pull, you carry, but being able to have a mobile pelvis, like when I'm pulling and doing this, I'm lengthening my hamstring right here, shortening my hamstring, lengthening my hamstring, shortening my hamstring, and as I'm hinging right here, I'm lengthening my hamstring. If I'm tight in my glutes, my hamstring is not at its full length, neither are my glutes. Hinge, no. Yeah.
Right. I feel it way more in the hamstrings than in my glutes.
You probably have some you probably need to really do some more blah blah blah. I can't talk. More lengthening. Yeah, focus less on how low you go. So to feel it in your glutes, focus less on how low you're reaching. Get more of this rotation. Like push into your hips. I'm gonna show you from the back. Push in. You're trying to create space right here.
Well, it's still my hamstrings.
What if you put your hand on a support?
Like this.
Yep. Now rotate towards your bedroom wall. Move that right knee back. Right knee back a little bit.
Like this.
More. There. And now lean your whole body towards your bed. You feel that in your left hip.
I feel it. Can you see where I'm touching? No, you can't.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
all it's more here.
That's where you want to feel it.
Yay! Okay, good.
Okay, if that didn't work, I was gonna say, let's bookmark that for a one-on-one. I'm glad that popped.
Perfect.
Okay. Please come in. All right, so same thing, like if it's really not working, the next thing would be to like myofascial release. Get the foam ball, get the ball out and like start rolling on the ball. Do some internal and external work on the ball, which I think that's in week 2. Okay. At the time. Okay, so much good stuff. Length, glutes, pull, hip hinge. So that hip hinge that we did, or the hinging that we did, like last week with the serratus work, like making sure when you're, downward in this position, that your ribs are supported. Because if your ribs are supported with your obliques, that's going to affect your pelvis mobility here, right? Okay, let's keep moving on with this hip hinge stuff. So this worked for you guys. Lunging. So if we're in week 6, so I still want to keep things, I want to move things to strength, but I also want to keep things accessible to like daily life. So if you're lunging and you're picking up, your kids, I don't know, laundry off the floor. Be thinking of this throughout your daily life of living, okay? Instead of bending down like this, just be cognizant of, okay, I'm gonna bend down, pick this up. So this would be a lunge. So I want you guys to get into this lunge position. Some of you might be doing this incorrectly. Leah and I worked on this the other day. Inhale, lunge. Push your booty back. Exhale, drive. So keep doing that. Just do it as I'm just gonna watch and see your guys' lunges. Okay, so in a lunge, the primary mover should be your glutes, not your quads. Okay, I've got it. Julie, I'm seeing you probably feel this more in your quads, right, Julie?
Yeah, yes,
And Lindsay, you too. Do you feel that more in your quads?
Yep.
Okay. You should feel this mostly in your glutes. So a lot of that has to do with the hinge of your hips. So when you're in a lunge, I want you to think about not being upright, not being like shoulders over hips, but rather sending those hips back, 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 back. And then driving off of that front heel. Imagine there's like jelly beans or eggshells under the front toes, and you can't squish it. Send the hips back and rise upward. And as you rise upward, I want you to imagine you're pulling the heel backward to activate the hamstring. Push your booty back. Okay, but Lindsay, I want you to come up. So here's what I saw. I saw you come up with your hips and then your shoulders. Come up together. Yes. Did you feel that more in your booty?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Julie, let me watch you. Julie, that looked like that was more in your butt, yes?
yes.
Okay. Sarah, I'm watching you, and oh my God, I just had a brain fart. And why cannot? Sorry, Pila. That's not your name.
Oh, Denise.
Thank you. Okay, let me watch you. Okay, where do you feel that, Denise?
Like here.
On the left side.
On both sides, but yeah, on pretty high.
Okay, move that front leg forward, maybe an inch or 2. Okay, and then push your booty back to the back door. Yes, yes, yes. Now inhale, as you go down, push your booty back to the door. Back to the door, get off of those toes. As you're in that downward position, you should be able to wiggle your toes.
Wait a minute. Which, the one's on the left, right? This one.
Yeah. So as I'm hinging down, I'm off my toes. As I rise, I'm off my toes. Who else do I need to watch? Sarah, where'd Sarah go? Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
Inhale and dig on that right heel. Sarah, yours looks good. You feel that in your right glute, yes?
Yeah, actually, I've never lunged like that in my life. That feels completely different. I hate lunges, and it's because I always felt it in my quads and my knees.
For years, women do quads, do it with their quads. Yeah, and your lunges should be with your glutes.
Yeah, that's learning something new every day with you, Cara.
Okay, now I want to get a little bit more space back here. So we're going to do the same exercise, but now you're going to add that rotation that we did at the beginning. So we're combining a couple exercises here. So you're going to rise. As you inhale lower, you're going to rotate. Inhale. Pick up that piece of laundry that your kid left on the floor for the 18th time. Reach outside your foot. Inhale. Reach. Exhale. Yes. Okay, Leah, you feel that in your booty, right? Thumbs up. I know I'm not hearing you. Julie, how you doing?
Fine, I'm almost feeling it like here.
In your adductors? Okay. Let me watch you. Do a couple for me, please. Yep. Okay, can you push your booty back even just half, like another inch or two? Okay, send your butt back, right there, and up. There. Inhale, push it back, push it back, push it back. Yes, and up. Focus, all of us, focus less on how low you go and more on how far back you push your booty. I'm gonna show you something to try.
I think with my height, I have a hard time knowing how far back I'm going.
Yes, I would imagine for you because you're so tall. So if you guys are just some space away from a wall, I'll put this in our workshop, but just
I need to see.
hinging, just trying to get your booty to touch
Okay.
the wall.
Okay.
Inhale, reach, exhale, rise. And as you exhale, rise, I want you to unbrain your head, unbrain the whatever. No more squeezing. Inhale, reach, exhale, lift, externally rotate. Feel that lift in your arch. Put that imaginary pencil underneath your toes. Inhale, hinge, exhale, lift. Creating more external rotation at your hips. All right, girls. I'm gonna get 2 more exercises here. Is everyone okay with being upright like this for so long?
Mhm.
Okay. 2 more exercises here. I'm gonna start at the bottom. So you're in this already hinged position. Julie, because you are so tall, you might use your kid's step stool, girl. Get some help up here. So like I have these TRXs, and I love these for support. That to me, this is a really affordable piece of equipment, and it helps you pull yourself, like lean yourself back without pulling forward. So
Okay. Are those just like bands with what? Where does it attach to?
mine's attached to my ceiling, but you can
Oh.
get it attached to your door. Like it comes with the door strap too. And I'll just show you this for. I mean, if you guys buy this, like it's on you, right? If you buy it from my link, I make like 60 cents. It's not that exciting, but I'm just telling you this because I think it's a really valuable tool. You see how here I can like put more weight onto my glute versus sometimes if someone's too far forward. This is one of the first tools I bought when I had my home gym. Okay, back to here. Here's what I want us to do. You're on your knees and you're gonna step up. Just step. And I want you to feel this in your glute max, right here, where the glute and hamstring connect. You guys see me? Now reach. You're in a hinge position. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. I'm gonna watch a couple. On the floor, exhale, rise. You're picking up a piece of laundry and you're putting the hanger back into the top closet, whatever. Inhale, grab the hanger. Exhale, pick it up on the closet. There you go. You guys feel that in your glute, right?
Yes.
Yes. Can everyone give me a thumbs up if you feel it in your glute? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. This is huge, huge wins. Getting your glutes to take the lead and prioritize and give those quads a break. So if you have strong glutes, you're going to have a strong, healthy, functioning pelvic floor. Your glutes support your knees. Your glutes support your ankles. Your glutes support your whole rib cage. This might not seem like much. You're like, oh my gosh, I've been doing lunges my whole life. Well, but now you're doing them with the support of your glutes. I'm going to show you another progression, and this would be almost like a lunge, but a little more of a step up. You're going to get a little more length in here, and this is totally optional. Okay, progression based on need. Lunge, step with a little balance. So when you have a little balance, you can tap your toe down here.
What are you doing with your left foot? I cannot up, or is it normal? Yeah, there we go. Ah,
Oh, it's on the block. Okay.
I'm not dumping or squeezing my pelvis at the top. Inhale, lower, booty hinge. So on this block, you just get more length, more stretch, and it's encouraged.
On the block.
My butt is already sore from just showing you guys these exercises. Watching you, Lindsay.
We're doing the block. Are we doing it with the block?
Yeah. You
Okay.
do it.
So you step up onto the block when you're doing it?
Staying on the block the whole time.
Oh, stay on the block the whole time. Okay.
Inhale, lower.
Oh, God.
Okay, Sarah, you feel it in the right spot. You're doing great.
is it
Yeah.
normal? Knees are about to give in.
Need to pat it. Okay. Call it. Call it. Call it. We need to do some exercises on our back to build some length. Listen to your body. Okay. Where else? Yeah, it's a lot of knee stuff for right now. Let's take a breather. Come to our spine. Our back. Right in here. Okay. So that kind of went in a different direction but it's still glute stuff, but it was a lot more hip focused than I had anticipated it being. That's okay. Let's articulate your spine up, up, up. So what I mean by that is pull your pubic bone up, up, up. Got your block close. Put your block in between your hips. Okay, hips are up.
Between your hips.
Something hurts?
No, did you say block between your hips?
Oh, I might have said that. A block in between your knees, please.
Oh, knees. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
It's my baby's first birthday today. I don't know why that has me in a ring.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Peyton.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want you to move your feet out a little bit. Can you feel your glutes as you wiggle your feet out?
Yes.
Okay. Wiggle your feet back in. And Denise, how's this feel on your knees?
But way better. Awesome. Great.
Okay. Put and wiggle your feet out. We're internally rotating. We're creating space. We're lengthening the muscle, the internal rotator of your glute. And you should feel those glutes by now. Like I feel mine kind of
Oh, yeah.
working. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Definitely.
Right, articulate it back down when you need a break, and then hug those knees in to stretch them out. And again, exhale, articulate up. Walk those feet out. So the block here helps to force you to do internal rotation. Okay, keeps the squeeze on the block with your legs, gives your body a home base for like doing some internal rotation, and you're activating those glute muscles. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Oh yeah, I can feel it. in the glutes.
This one might be a lot. From here, go ahead and lift. Keep the block in between your knees. And then lift one side without dropping the hips. And then hands can be pressing on the floor for support. Inhale, expand. Exhale, wrap and engage the abdominals. Then add movement with your leg. Keeping those hips up. I'm going to peek at you girls. You should feel this in your adductor and your hips and not your low back. Keep pulling the pubic bone towards the belly button. Yes, and trying not to let the hips drop. So if that means not going so high. You guys feel this in your glutes, yes?
Yes.
Okay, this is one of my favorite exercises for glute strength because it forces you to have to use your core in a way that transfers load from left to right, and you're using those deep internal stabilizers. You feel them engage a lot more than when you're just standing doing a lunge.
Mhm.
How'd that one feel for you?
On the knees, great.
Okay, but could you feel your glutes activating? Okay,
Okay.
all right. Let me give you another one. All right. Get rid of your block and just fight to keep that squeeze in your legs. You're gonna abduct one leg and then inhale, move it out just a couple inches without dropping the hip. Then exhale, squeeze it together. If you need a break, you can articulate back down and do a reset. Exhale, lift. Do you hear me breathing and bracing my core and exhaling before I do any big movement? I'm going to show you a different view. So when you're here, I'll show you this view. Can you guys see me from here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as I'm moving this leg out, I'm not dropping the hip. So it's a very small movement. It can be 1 inch, it can be 2 inches, wherever it is, but until you get to that edge of, oh, I'm falling, that's your range of motion. And you should feel that in the glutes of the leg that's stabilizing, and you're training your core to keep the left hip and right hip in alignment with each other. How'd that feel? Okay. Leah, pull the knee in the air, pull the leg in the air down so that's in alignment with the other leg. Yes, now do it. You should feel that more in your glute now. Inhale, open, exhale, close. Small movements. Just a couple inches is really all you need. Once you start to feel that hip dip or drop or wiggle, you're done.
Wow. All right.
And you feel that pretty concentrated in your glute max. I'm gonna stop with the exercises right there because I don't want to overwhelm. I think that's good. We got into a little bit of like what I was gonna do next week and then on everything today. How do you guys feel so far?
Good.
Work.
Okay.
Worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like work now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. This is good. A nice, slow, steady, progressive pace. Beautiful. And we're listening to our bodies. We're respecting our limitations. We're respecting our abilities. And you guys are asking questions. Should this feel like this? You guys have some light bulbs that come off today?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Anyone feel like sharing?
I was really impressed with that. I mean, I love the hip hinge already because it feels really good to stretch, but I know my hamstrings are tight, and the difference after we did that on the back on your spine, pulling the heels, you know, and then to stretch to see, like, I was like shocked at how different it felt on the left side, because when I did the hip hinge on my left side, I was like, ouch, that hurts. I'm so tight on this. My left side is always messed up on my lower body, and then my upper body on the opposite side. And then it was just like a total difference in the hip hinge just from that little movement of pulling the heels back a couple times.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I'm so glad we found something that works and feels good for your body.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to see it all come together with like doing the posture things, because I'm tall, so I've always hunched a lot. So
Say
like
that
spreading
tall.
everything out, and like the strength that I think if I just have to keep doing the exercises, but it's all coming together, like instead of stacking thing like you're talking about.
Good. Yeah, you're starting to see and feel it piece together. Good. Beautiful. Leah, were you going to say something?
Oh, the glute stuff is like mind blowing to me. Just again reinforces the anterior pelvic tilt, explains why like my hamstrings have been tight, and just to do them right and feel them in your glute instead of my quads. I've never felt that before, so it's good.
Oh, yeah, life changing. That will change your life. That will change the way you work out forever. Yes. Good. So glad that spoke to you. Anyone else? I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but as a whole, sometimes it feels good to know like what's working, what's clicking, and it will help you ask questions like, oh, maybe if I don't feel that, where can I gain support?
I'm just happy you always have an alternative. If something is wrong, that you're like, okay, then we'll turn around or we switch it around, because sometimes it really is hard when the knees don't work or anything. So I love that.
So glad. Yes, that's the benefit of having a trainer, right? Is not one shoe fits all. Lots of different options. Always lots of different options. I hated it when I was like teaching group fitness 20 years ago, and they used to say, if you can't do something, just sit down.
Yeah, that's why I don't like group fitness classes, because it's like sometimes you just don't know what to do and then you're missing half the workout.
Yeah, if you can't keep up, you don't fit. There's a shoe size for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it can be just a teeny tiny little movement that can change it for everybody, like, or your whole, like what you're doing with
Leah, yeah, that was huge. I mean, I adjusted you probably like that much. But it was like,
As soon as I did it, I just felt the tightness.
yeah.
oh, all right, girls. Well, you're doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. We're halfway through, and it's for me, it's so cool to see the progress in you girls change and your confidence even. I think some of you were like, oh, I don't know if it's for me, and now you're like, it's coming together. So it's really cool to be able to see you guys progress, and I think you're amazing, and I know that this is going to work. You know, like the leaking and the peeing and the back pain and the hip stuff, like all of it comes together. It takes time. There's no one thing. Morning, by 10 o'clock. There's no one thing. It's lots of layers, and just showing up and doing it day in and day out, and then being aware and cognizant of what you're doing throughout the day. So like thinking, okay, as I'm bending down and doing the dishes, as I'm taking out the trash, like, I mean, you can't be on all the time, but when you think of it, it matters.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, girls, have a great rest of your week.
Thank you. Happy birthday again to Peyton. I hope you guys have fun today.
Thank
Yes.
you. Bye, guys.
Tara.
Yes. So exciting. I know. I can't believe it.